Welcome to Fully Aligned, where we explore the heart of business. Hi, I'm Joe Kiedinger, and with 25 years of researching how great businesses succeed, running several of my own businesses, and tripping a little bit along the way, this podcast is focused on the research and the results that are achieved by doing the right things at the right time, specifically for this day and age. So we'll dive into leadership, business culture, and growth strategies. So buckle up, let's get real as we become fully aligned. Hey everyone, let's line up the idea today. So every week we're gonna have a lineup. The lineup today is visioning. Good, bad, annoying, real. Like when you think of visioning, what do you think of? And I want to explore the stereotypes of that. Some people I think visioning is a waste of time because plans are going to change anyway. So why would we vision? There are some people who have had experiences where, you go through this visioning process as a strategic team. Perhaps you've seen or been a part of that. I know I have. And you come up with this vision for the company's going to go, and then you make a beautiful wall hanging. Okay, and you present it to the rest of the company, and oftentimes in that case, because they weren't a part of it, because of how it's presented, it becomes almost cynical. I don't know if you ever experienced that, but it can become cynical. I remember in the early days of doing this work, we had a company create their vision. Okay, because we were cutting our teeth while we did it, and that part was okay. That part was working. I was missing some key elements, which we're going to talk about today. And then they presented it, and our team members were in the audience, okay? And he presented it, and they had slideshows to share the vision and share all this stuff. And then afterwards, they had this social to celebrate, right? And our team just could hear people almost cynical, like, oh, right, here we go again. Almost like flavor of the day. So I really want to talk about realigning your thoughts about what vision is all about. Now, there's no doubt that vision is important. I mean, read Good to Great, the book, when they talk about what makes a great leader. Part of the elements is visionary. There's a vision for the company, right? Where are we headed? What do we want to become? There's no doubt that visioning is critical to help give vision to your team. For example, the entrepreneur often has this vision for what they want their company to be like. It'd be like to tell you, I want you to hop on this train right now. Right now, we're all going to the train. Why? Where are we going? Who cares? Just hop on the train. Versus, I want to show you this Caribbean island. I want to share with you where it's headed, where we're becoming, and it looks like this. And maybe I have imagery, and I show you this beautiful harbor with the tranquil water and the white sand beach, and you see the palm trees. Maybe there's bungalows, and there's just this beautiful paradise. Maybe there's a volcano on the island, right? And you're sharing your vision for where the company is going, and let's just say it's heading towards that island, right? So now you have to share that story. So now, how are we going to get to that island? Well, guess what? Right now, we're going to have to take a train because we're located, mainland. So we're going to take a train to the coast. Maybe we need a bunch of moving vans. Maybe we need buses. There's a bunch of us. There's a few of us. Maybe then we have to hop into a boat and navigate to islands, this island, that island, that island, that island. And then maybe we can get to where we're headed, this beautiful island. And then when we get there, the island is raw. It's not developed. So now we're at this new location, this new space for us to build something pretty special on this island. Sure, the volcano's there, been there millions of years, and now it's time to build something great. So I want you to think of a vision as why am I getting on the train? See, we often don't think of that. We think this grandiose event, a feel good, and I don't know why I'm doing it. You're doing it so that people know why they're getting on the train first. What are we trying to do? And we may not know. We may have to build some tracks as well to get to the coast. So there's going to be some building period of time because we have to get from here to there to there to there. So that's all about scaling, and visioning has a lot to do with how you perceive it. So let me tell you some maybe some do's and don'ts of visioning that I found to be successful and impactful on people. And it also really steers into the culture, because culture is everything. Culture will happen to you even if you do nothing. It's just usually it's bad. Usually it becomes a bad, soured culture if you don't strategically build your culture. So I want you to think of visioning as also a way to show vision, not just to where the business is going, but how you want people to behave, how you want folks to interact. You could share some key behaviors in the vision itself, saying, to get there, we need to behave this way, whether it's collaboratively, we have to break down silos, we have to do this, we have to do that. In this vision, I want to share with you a different way to present your vision. So I'm going to use an example of something that we are all very familiar with, and that is the State of the Union Address. Now, once a year in America, I believe it's in February, the president gets on camera and spends about an hour and a half with Americans sharing the State of the Union Address. I want you to think of, if we're going to do visioning right and make a huge impact, I want you to think of visioning as creating your State of the Company Address. That's really what you're doing, because within the context of your State of the Company Address will be a paragraph that shares your vision. See, when you put things into context, the brain all of a sudden opens up and it gets drawn in to what it's all about. So here, I'm going to share with you some ideas for you to start constructing your State of the Union Address. Oh, and by the way, you department leaders, managers can do this. I don't care if you only lead one person. Perhaps, maybe you're an independent contributor. You should write it down. Because if you write something down, it's real. Now, before I get into deeper around this, I want to tell you what a waste of time is. A waste of time because I've done it. I am a high, in my world, Dignify, fun country guy. I got ideas flying all over the place. I got creative. I got unique motivations that just drive me. And I can see things so clearly. And I tell people about it. I often told people where our business was heading before I really discovered the power of the State of the Company Address. I told them all about it. But you know what I realized over time? People do not believe what they hear. They believe what they see. I'm going to say that again. People don't believe what they hear. They believe what they see. So if you're frustrated and you're hearing this going, I've told my people all the time where we're headed. I don't get it. When I get this feedback going, I'm confused. I don't know where we're going. I felt it. It enraged me at the time until I realized if it isn't written down, it's not real. If it's not written down, it's not real. It's just you talking. And most people are not this type of big picture thinker. I should say not everyone's a big picture thinker. So you can talk all about this stuff, but I'm more of a, what are we doing now? And this, that, you're losing me, right? You're losing me unless you write it down. I mean, this is just one example of a State of the Company Address that we just recently did. Oh, and by the way, make it look pretty. Dignify it. Make your words count. Put on beautiful paper. Give it a nice heading. Chunk it out into different sections so that the person can follow along and allow them to read it as you present it. Not only that, it gives you confidence because you don't have to memorize anything. You're just going to read it to people. All right, so let's get into some of these. This new way, I'm going to realign you on the power of a vision and package it in a way that becomes super real and super impactful. All right? And so, for one, if you think of the State of the Union Address, and remember, this could be a State of the Department Address. This can be State of the whatever address, a division. If you're a plant manager and there's lots of plants, you can have a State of the Plant Address. Whatever it is you're in charge of, State of Marketing Address, all right? Whatever it is you're responsible for, it doesn't matter if the president hasn't done this, you can do it, all right? You can do it. Maybe you can't write the vision of the company, but you can write the vision of your department. Ideally, this starts at the top. So, what makes a great State of the Company Address? Well, one, it has to be honest. You know, people love honesty. If you look at Jim Collins' book, Good to Great, they talk about what are like attributes of an awesome leader. When he interviewed and researched all these people, humility was there, truthful and honest was there, visionary was there, humble, vulnerable was there. So we need to get real. And so make sure you talk about the current state. What's real? What's going well? What's not going well? Just share the current state of the department, the current state of whatever the subject is that you're talking about. That's really key. It's a good place to start. Somewhere also in your state of the blank address, depending who your audience is, how about sharing a little bit about who you are? People fear leadership. They fear their leaders. And what do they fear? They're trying to figure you out. Now you could, I've been here for 15 years. Okay, that could be even worse. And I'll tell you why. Because you have certain quirks and you have certain behaviors that people are all talking behind your back. And you might go, oh, I know, I'm abrupt. That's just who I am. Or you might say, I know, I can be forgetful at times. That's just the way I am. What we want to do is not accept that anymore. Let's not accept that. Let's have you tell people about you and why you lead the way you do. It's a very powerful moment you have. And you can do that by focusing on your life and just pulling out a story that relates to your leadership style. So I'm going to give you an example for me right now. So if I'm addressing this, which I've shared this with my team can see me as being aloof. My team can see me as being bird. Oh, there's a squirrel, right? I'm I see the entire territory. So some people can see the entire territory. Some people can see the forest. Some people can see one tree, right? Some people can just see the pond. I see the entire territory. And so I don't talk in detail, which can be frustrating to some people, right? Well, in my State of the Company address some years ago, I told the story about how my mother, when I was little, we were the Von Trapp family. There's the Von Trapps, right? From the famous Sound of Music, we're the Von Kiedinger family. It was a joke, right? But all of us sang, we all performed, we all entertained. It was a gift that we were all given, whether it be rhythm or voice or musician instruments or whatever, what have you. And so when I was a little kid, being the youngest of 5 and the cutest, by the way, most adorable, but I was the youngest, and so you do get that special attention. I was the baby of the family. And my mother and dad would have dinner parties, and they'd have all the people coming over and cocktailing, and back in the 70s having their cigarettes and their Manhattans. And she would call me down from upstairs because that's where they preferred us, and we preferred to be there too, to be quite honest. But at around 7 o'clock, I would get called down, and I would step up on the mantle of a fireplace. We had one of those bigger fireplaces where you have like a 1.5 foot brick mantle where you can sit on it, right? Well, it jutted out from the actual mantle of it. So this is like the apron, this brick apron, I should say, came out. And I stood on that. It was like a little stage in our family room. And I was like Drew Carey, whose line is it anyway? And my mother would say, hey, give us an animal. And they would say, a bird. And then they would say, what's the bird doing? And people would yell out ideas. And building a road. Okay, fine. Construction. Building a road. And what's the name of the bird? I don't know. Sam. Joey, sing a song about Sam the bird building a road. And I would stand up and I would sing verse, line, chorus. I know what you're thinking. I challenge you to do it right now. I'm challenging you to do it right now. It's a little corny, but all right. I know a bird named Sam. Sam is a great, great bird, not a man. He loves to build and build and build, and roads are his thing. Oh, Sam the bird loves building roads. He's built them for a lot of loads. And Sam the bird, blah, blah, et cetera, et cetera. All right? This is what I did when a child is programmed to do improv at that young of age. And I did that from about 3 or 4 years old all the way until you're not cute anymore doing it, or you're a little self-conscious, maybe 9, 8. That built into me a spontaneity program. That built into me, I'm gonna position right now. I have to feel my way, not plan my way. That is what that taught me. Okay, how I am wired, using that as a story, I now tell my employment. So if you expect me to be able to follow processes to a T, if you expect me to list everything that I'm thinking out, that's not who I am. I feel my way. I don't plan my way. And within my document, I need your help. Because of that, I need your help. Interview me. I could tell you all this stuff. You could write it down. We need to document it. We need to put processes together. I'm not saying I'm against process. I don't know process. That's not my world, but I certainly know we need it. So I surround myself with process people. So you see, when you share a story like that, what rises? Empathy. Empathy rises. It's not, oh, there he goes, changing it again. It's creating clarity that that's how airplanes are. When you see the territory, that's what Joe does. So it's instead of getting angry or frustrated about it, let's plan for it. Because guess what? It's going to happen. Let's just plan for it. We don't have to talk negative about it. Let's plan for it. When you present it in that type of format and getting a little real, telling a little bit of story of your life, and then tying it into your leadership style and why you lead the way you do, it's a powerful deal. And if we go back to Colin's book, Good to Great, in the 5 greatest qualities of leaders that he unpacked, humility and vulnerability is part of that. So you're getting real. I'm willing to share with you part of your story. Just last week, we did a vision alignment. It's a whole process. It's a day-long deal where this is a piece of it, right? You kick off the vision, and then you bring the team together into a facilitation to really help them align themselves around your big ideas so that we have clarity and we can become fully aligned. See, just because you print it and send it to people, that doesn't mean everyone's aligned, does it? But it's a great start. When this gentleman shared why he leads the way he does, he did get a little choked up, which was completely appropriate because of his story. You know, he grew up a little bit in chaos and had to, being the oldest child, had to bring it all together. And he's very raw with that and very honest. And he ended up choking up. But you know what? The team's response was like, wow, that's real. And thank you so much for sharing. See, when you are weak, you are strong. Do you see that? When you share a bit of your story as a leader, you're showing just a little bit of vulnerability. You are weak, you are strong. Now remember another thing. This vision document, this state of the department, is written for your key leaders only for now. All right? It's just for your key leaders. You don't present this and then go, hey, now wallpaper this all over the company. Nope, not to begin with. That's later. That's later. You can do some of that stuff. And you probably pull out some stuff because it's out of context if you're not the one presenting it, right? So you don't just print this off and send it. This is almost sacred. This is personal. This is real between me, the leader, and my direct leaders. Now, if you're a small business, you may have every employee there. Let's say you've got 12 employees. Yeah, bring them around. Get real. That works. Now, if you're in a company of 1,000, get your key people on a Zoom call if you want. It might be 40, 50 of them. And that's maybe where you present it. Or it's just your executive team. It's for their eyes only. So please remember that in context. In this case I'm telling you about, he had about 14 or 15 key leaders that ran this division of a company. And it was very powerful because it's very real and it's very authentic and very honest. And we can't be afraid to go there. People have fears, which is an acronym I heard, false evidence appearing real. And when they have these fears, they make assumptions and they have cognitive beliefs. And you can shatter them by saying, I ain't perfect. I had some stuff. Or I have a story as to why I'm the way I am. And it helps you describe your leadership style. It also shows that you know who you are, that you're willing to go there. So that's an important ingredient. So now we need to get real, of what's going well, good and bad in the company. Describe a little bit of who you are, why you lead the way you do. And then somewhere in there, of course, when you piece this thing together, you have your vision, right? Which shouldn't be more than a paragraph. Our vision is to become. It's a to become statement, right? It's where are we headed? Where are we going? 3, 5, 6, 7 sentences. It's within the context of the state of the blank address. And then share, just your initial thoughts on how we're going to get there. Like what should we start doing and stop doing? Like just being real. Here's what do you see as a leader? This is what we start or stop doing. And Another element of a great one is a theme if it comes to you, right? A theme brings the brain right back to that moment. So if you have a theme, like for example, we have fully aligned. I mean, think of a theme as the theme of the year. Here we're trying to get everyone fully aligned. So anything you talk about or we talk about, I share with you, it's how to get people fully aligned. Well, they're fully aligned between me and you. This is a leadership team, eventually the company. How do we get fully aligned? Because it's frustrating when people are all scattering in their own way. And so that's like a theme, right? Fully aligned is our theme of this podcast. It's the theme of our company. It's the theme of the book I'm writing. Fully aligned. What are the elements of that? So in your state of the blank address, you too can have a theme. Let's see what this guy's theme is. Let's see. We got a theme here. Prioritize each other. That's what this person's theme is. This owner is a small business owner. They have about 70 employees. So here's the theme for the year. So after everything this gentleman shared in his thoughts, the theme is we need to prioritize each other. That's what they want to focus on. Now, outside of that theme, you'd have no idea what that means. In the context of this beautiful work that this gentleman put together for his team, it meant a whole hell of a lot. And so now on his future email sign-offs to his team, he'll be like, prioritize each other. See ya. So, again, our vision's important? Absolutely. How you do the vision is more important. How you do it. So here's your bold move. I have a bold move for you. Start writing your thoughts down. Bullet point it. What's your vision? Take a shot at it. Try to put it on paper. Maybe you're not this paragraph writer, right? Joe, I'm not an author. I haven't written books like you have. I get it. Totally fine. Welcome to AI. Maybe that can assist you. Write some bullets. Let it give you the fodder, right? Let it give you some stuff so you can make it your own and you can tweak it and change it. But get it on paper. What is it? Review this podcast. Hear about the elements. Take bold moves so that you too can get your team fully aligned. If you're ready to get fully aligned with your team and want to learn a little bit more how to get started, reach out to me directly. Joe K at Dignify.com. That's Joe K at Dignify.com or find me on LinkedIn.